Hey, it's Jane. I'm at Nola's. She's going to tell us how to make
homemade washing powders. Actually, it's going to be a liquid. And tonight we're going to be using the recipe to make for high efficiency washing machines. So what you need is you're going to need this Bell's Napa soap. You're going to need borax. You're going to need the washing soda, which is actually baking soda heated at 400 degrees until it's granulated. But you can get everything you need at Walmart. We're also going to use water. Okay? First off, you're going to grade your soap. I've already got the soap, most of it graded. What we're going to need is 2/3 of this bar. This is a full bar size, but we're using 2/3. This is the rest of the 2/3 that we need. So I'm just going to grade this right quick. And it takes just a little bit, and it takes a little bit of muscle, and yeah, sometimes it gets a little messy when it's a little dry. That's alright. Clean that up in a little bit. Some people run these through one of those salad shooters. That's what, I know Miss Bowl does that. She'll run it through the salad shooter, but I've never tried that. Almost there. And then what we're going to do when we get this grated up, I've got a 1/2 gallon of 2 gallons total of water you need. But I have a 1/2 gallon over here in this pot on the stove that's coming up to a boil, which it's already boiling and ready for us. As soon as I get this last little bit grated, see we're down this little last piece, I'll kind of knock it down a little bit and then let it go and let it melt with the rest of it. That'll be fine. Okay, see, and I made a little bit of mess, so we can just rake that up a little bit and throw it right in there. And I've got a spoon slotted, and I'm just going to kind of put it in here and stir this soap in here. And we're going to cook this until it's melted. So, if you want to, Jane, come over here and you see how this looks right now when I poured it in here.
Okay.
You can look down into the pot and see this is how it looks when you first put it in there. See, it kind of starts to clump together, but it'll melt down. So we're
like
going to
chicken noodle soup.
yeah, and we're going to bring this back up to a boil. And then we're going to boil it until it melts all the soap. Then after that, that's when we'll add our borax and our washing soda. So we can wait and come back and we'll show you what happens then.
Alright.
Okay. Here we are again. Now we're where the soap is melted. If you can look in here, and it's at a softer boil. I turned the heat down because once I put the borax and the washing soda in, I don't want it to be boiling too hard. You want it to boil for 5 minutes at a softer boil. So, okay, I'm going to put it up to about a medium. And then I'm going to put in the borax, and I'm going to kind of stir it in. And this is 1 cup of borax. Then I'm going to reach over here and get the washing soda, and I'm already feeling that kind of thickening up as I'm stirring. And I'm pouring in 1 cup washing soda. And see, mine's got a little bit of lump, so it really don't matter. So we're going to stir this, and then we're going to let this boil at a kind of lower boil for 5 minutes. So I'm going to get this to make sure it's boiling at a little bit of a small boil, which, like I said, I can feel that thickening up already in there. I think you can see by the look of it, it's pretty much thickening up just by when I'm stirring it. Okay, and now let's stop and look for a second. Let's see if it's boiling. I can hear some, but I'm not seeing much. Okay, I'm going to go up just a little bit higher on the heat. If I have to turn it back down, I will. But I want this to come to like a boiling. but I want it to be at a lower boil. So I'm up to like a medium high heat. We are, and it is just a little bit boiling in here. So here we are at the point where we're going to let this boil, a low boil, for 5 minutes. So I'm putting on the timer for 5 minutes. We'll come back after this. Okay, now here we are. We got 6 seconds and counting down, and it's going to be our 5 minutes is up on this boiling. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. Let it sit for a second and put this down. And now I'm getting the 1.5 remaining gallons of water that was left out of the 2 gallon. Remember, we started with a 1/2 gallon here and got it to boil. Yep. Now, I like the coldness of the refrigerator. So I put mine in the refrigerator. Now here, we're going to be in here in this bucket, Jane. We're going to take in, here's a 1/2 gallon of cold water. I'm putting it in the bucket. Then also, here's another gallon of cold water that I'm putting in the bucket right here. Got a little bit on the floor, but it'll be alright. But I need now to take our suds that we melted, the soap and the washing soda and the borax, and you're going to carefully, and I'm going to use these 2 rags here, and I'm pour it directly into this cold water, and it should start to gel up. When I put it in here like that, let me set this to the side. Let me get the spoon, and I'm going to start stirring it. Oh yeah, you can already feel it. It's already starting to gel. You can see that. I'm pretty sure you can tell that that's already gelling up. So I'm going to stir this around pretty good. And then I'm going to use this straight neck mixer. And so like a plunger mixer. And I'm going to mix this. Now it's going to get loud, and we'll start it off and let you see the beginning, but then we'll turn it off and we'll come back. Alright, now I've about mixed it pretty good. And I like to mix it pretty good. So I'm going to turn this off, and now I'm going to let this sit for 30 minutes. Then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to remix it with this handheld mixer, and then we'll bottle it up and it's ready to use. Okay, here we are back again, and we've been letting this sit for 30 minutes. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to take this spoon and I'm just going to barely dip in here, and see, you can see where it's gelled. See, you can tell. And see, I'll even lift it up. And see, you can tell that it's like gelled. And see, it gets liquidy still, but see? And so, what you do now is we take and we use the straight arm mixer again, the wand mixer, and I'm going to plunge it again, one good time, mix it again. Then we bottle it up, and it's ready to use. And when you go to use it, if you use a 1/2 cup to 1 load of laundry, then you'll be good to go. So give it a try and let us know how you like it. Okay, and then we'll bottle that up and be ready to use. Now before we go away, here, I want Jane, bring your camera up here. And this right here is Jane's first try of melting beads in the oven.
Hey, kids can do it too.
It come out great. It was like plastic beads, put it in the oven, didn't you say, at 400 degrees for 20 minutes, Jane?
Yep.
Alright.
Yep.
And that's how it turned out.
Kids
Love
play.
you, Jane.
Thank you.
One more thing. We almost forgot. I wanted to show you exactly what I put mine in. This right here, I fill it up with my laundry detergent. And then when it gets where sometimes when it settles a little bit, it'll separate. All I got to do is screw the lid on, give it a good shake, and it mixes up and ready to go again. So now you can see where it's got my old laundry detergent in it. I'm empty. I'm ready for a refill.
Yep.
Goodbye.